All right, with that, we will call the June 23rd, 2022 Diversion Board of Authority meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Peterson.
I am here.
Dr. Mahoney.
Here.
Mayor Dardis.
Here.
Mayor Carlson. Mr. Hendrickson. Mr. Pepcorn.
Here.
Mr. Ebbinger.
Here.
Mr. Strand. Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mrs. Sherling. Mr. Steen. Mr. Olson.
Here.
Mr. Seljevold.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Wonderful. Thank you. As said, we do have a quorum. With that, moving on to item 2 on our agenda, we're looking for approval of prior meeting minutes. If so, look for a motion to approve, amend, discuss.
Move approval.
Is there a second, please?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Order of the agenda. We do have one small amendment, removal of item 2 under the consent agenda, item C2. Otherwise, looking for a motion to approve, or I guess it would be amend, please, the order of agenda as presented.
So move.
Is there a second, please?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. On to our consent agenda. You presumably have had a chance to review the consent agenda as distributed. Any discussion, questions, or a motion, please?
And the motion would be to
To approve consent agenda as presented.
with the elimination of C2.
Yes, sir, as under the
Great.
order of the agenda amendment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Any discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Dr. Mahoney.
Aye.
Mayor Dardis.
Yes.
Mr. Pepcorn.
Aye.
Mr. Ebbinger.
Aye.
Mr. Campbell.
Aye.
Mr. Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Seljevold.
Aye.
That is everyone.
The consent agenda is approved as presented. On to item 4 under our regular agenda, Executive Director Report. Mr. Paulson, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On Commissioner Ebbinger's request, I have a light agenda here. I think he's got a game he'd like to get to, so we'll move through this fairly quickly. Just some major project accomplishments this last month. We continue to get the gates delivered and assembled on site for the inlet control structure. You can see here some photos of Ames lifting those gates into place. It's pretty amazing when you stand out there, just the magnitude of the structure and see the size of those gates. But that's progressing very well. A few P3 updates. Most of my team have been spending most of their time working with Red River Valley Alliance on working toward the requirements for Notice to Proceed 2, which will give the public-private partnership the ability to begin construction on the channel. We are expecting that to occur sometime around the groundbreaking at August 9th at 2 p.m. So we're still planning that event. But there's still a number of plans and pieces that need to be worked through and get the diversion authority's approval prior to issuing that NTP2. I will note there have been 70 pieces of heavy equipment that have already been delivered and ready to go. So for all intents and purposes, we're seeing the resources necessary by RRVA to begin construction as soon as we can reach that NTP2 stage. I won't get too in-depth on the United States Corps of Engineers updates because I believe we'll be getting those from Terry later. But just a couple things to note. Prep work has started at the Red River Control Structure site. And then the gates have arrived or will be arriving in sequence for the wild rice control structure as well. So short and sweet this month, but certainly open to any questions that the board may have.
Diversion Authority members, any question for Mr. Paulson? Any questions? And now that I know Mr. Ebbinger in a hurry, Joel, your day going okay? Family good?
Things are going well. Yeah,
That's a nice tie, brother. Like that tie.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Where'd you get that? Okay. All right. Any other questions for our executive director? If not, move to item 5. Move to item 5. General counsel update. Mr. Shockley, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just briefly, the item you approved on your agenda, the SBA MOU, is actually the final MOU for the diversion channel. So just wanted to say good news is that we no longer have any additional MOUs through the diversion channel. There's a few MURAs left for the southern embankment, but slowly whittling that workflow down. Certainly answer any questions, but things are going well on our front.
Any questions for Mr. Shockley? Any questions? If not, I will push to item 6, Army Corps. All right, Army Corps. Ms. Williams, are you on the line?
I am on the line, Commissioner Peterson. Can
Hey
you hear
there.
me all right?
Absolutely. Welcome
Hi.
virtually.
Thank you. I'm going to respect the request for an abbreviated agenda as well. I think this month's drone footage, as usual, does a wonderful job showing the current status of the ongoing federal construction. I'm going to hit on a couple of things. Number one, the diversion inlet structure. Another big event coming up is that beginning mid-August through September, the bridge, the access bridge, will be set over the top of the entire structure, which will be pretty impressive, and also the platform that the gate machinery will hang off of. So at that point, we're going to see the true height of the diversion inlet structure. I'll skip down to number 6, Drain 27, the wetland restoration contract. The contractor is currently stripping topsoil and has started construction of the access road there. For number 7, Drayton Dam mitigation, the pre-con meeting was held yesterday, and we expect them to start hauling rock in for that, the construction of the new dam, probably about mid-July. So we'll start seeing some action out there probably beginning to mid-July. Skipping down to number 8, Sc2a Construction, the contractor is submitting their pre-mobilization submittals. A pre-con has yet to be set, but we'll keep you updated on when they start to move dirt out on Sc2a. And then the update that I provided, the design, again, ongoing design on primarily Sc2b and Sc4. We've got reviews on those 2 reaches starting in July. And our primary focus, of course, is trying to identify real estate limits for acquisition for those 2 upcoming construction projects. With that, are there any questions, sir?
Board members, any questions for Ms. Williams or our friends at the Army Corps? Ms. Williams, anything further?
That's it, sir. Thank you for the time.
Outstanding. Thank you. Item 7, our agenda, public outreach. Mr. Olson.
And I will shorten my presentation and
It's like this guy's royalty or something.
Hey, it's just a Razorback game for crying out loud.
but I'm going to turn it over to Amy Weiser, so I don't know if it's going to shorten or not. And I just have to say that Amy is home actually with COVID, but she's going to take over and give a presentation here. So thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Olson. Let's start with the drone footage first. That's one of our newest products, and then I'll give you a couple of other updates.
Hi, I'm Chris Bockygaard, Director of Engineering for the Metro Flood Diversion Authority. Work started on a new component of the FM Area Diversion Comprehensive Project this month, with prep work beginning at the Red River structure site. The structure will be the 3rd and largest of the 3 gated control structures on the diversion program. As work starts there, it's wrapping up on the first stretch of the southern embankment. Final grading, followed by grass seeding, is taking place on the 3-mile-long segment known as SE1. Construction on SC2A, the next stretch of the 20-mile-long embankment, will begin this summer. Things are looking different over at the Wild Rice River structure, where 2 radial arm tainter gates recently arrived. Like those at the diversion inlet structure, the gates will be assembled on site and installed later this year. Additional concrete also was poured at the base of the structure. The dam walls will be constructed on this slab. It's interesting to note the concrete needed to build the Wild Rice structure is enough to fill 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools. As our drone view takes us onto the 4-mile-long I-29 road raise, we can see that the beams have been installed on the bridge structure this month while work continues on the road. This portion of the project will be complete in 2024, 3 years before the entire project will be ready to provide permanent flood protection.
So that was one of a few videos that we've had the opportunity to put out this past month, including a lands-related video with Mr. Olson. So I hope you all have a chance to look at that on our YouTube site. But the biggest highlight for public outreach this past month was the first issue of our newsletter went out, the Diversion Current. And I was anticipating a very high bounce rate and quite a few people unsubscribing, merely because the list that we are working off of, some of the people who signed up to receive information date back to 2012. So our initial subscribers are about a decade old, and we gave them kind of an easy out, saying that we understand if they're no longer interested. Despite that, you'll see that our bounces actually performed a little bit better than industry averages, as well as our unsubscribe rate. I really anticipated a lot more addresses that we would get bounce backs after all this time. Our click rate was spectacular, and our open rate is a little below industry average, so we'll continue to watch that. But in terms of our first issue, I'm very pleased with the results. Other than that, we made sure we published that office change information, and we're continuing to work on a lot of other products. It's business as usual, but you'll be seeing some new videos and some other new products coming in the next several weeks. So with that, I will keep it short for Mr. Ebbinger, but I am very happy to answer any questions or take any feedback you may have.
You can keep talking. Feel free. We've got a lot more to share. Mr. Olson, anything to add, sir?
I do. I just want to tell you that I had the privilege to work with Amy and Chandler Dick from C3 Media, making these two videos. Fantastic job and easy to work with. And thank you, Amy. And Chandler, if you're out there, thank you also. I think I said you've made me look much more articulate than I actually am. Thank you.
Roger, they made you look fantastic. Now, come on.
That's what I mean.
Any questions for our public outreach team? Any questions? If not, we can push on to land management. Mr. Paulson, we're looking for somebody, whether Ms. Smith, Commissioner Sherling is out.
Well, unfortunately, Chairman, you have me today. So
Okay, well, you got the tie, so that's a good start.
well, thank you. And Roger, of course, if there's anything you'd like to share from Cass Joint before I get started, you can certainly feel free.
I think we're looking forward to July. It sounds like we'll have quite a bit of activity coming from the land agents in July. Quite a few offers, counter offers. So we're looking forward to that. And then just briefly on the legal, on the court cases, our first court case will be coming in July. I think it was the 19th. It's on the schedule. So we've been able to, as it comes closer and closer to the date, we've been able to negotiate. And so we'll see what happens here by the 19th. Thank you.
Very good. And Commissioner Campbell, we did not have an MCC JPA meeting, but if there's anything you'd like to share?
Nothing else.
Okay. So I'll just do a brief update. So as the board's aware, we did send out the flow easements to the property owners in the upstream mitigation area. You can see we have started to acquire some of those flow easements. You can see some of those tiles turning from blue to green. This month we were able to sign 4 flow easements, and we negotiated another 6. So thanks to the Cass Joint Board for their work on that, as well as our lands team as we continue to move forward. We were expecting probably the amount that we have been achieving to date. We are going to be sending a reminder letter to all the property owners in that area after the 4th of July. Our land agents are anticipating that that letter will also spur a lot of discussions and some additional acquisitions for flowage easements. Just wanted to make the board aware we have completed our RIMP guidance, our Rural Impact Mitigation Program, which is that loan program that we were offering to producers in the upstream mitigation area. We already have signed 4 loans, as the board's aware. There are approximately 16 farmsteads that are eligible, so we're making our way through. We're about 25% through negotiating the loan packages with those producers, and we do have the final guidance completed at this point. So, other than that, I think that's all Jody wanted to share. She wishes she could be here, but she's out just on a quick medical leave. She should be back next week and back on the job. So,
Authority members, any questions? Any questions? Anything else to add, Mr. Paulson?
that's all I have, sir.
Okay, with that, we can move on to item 9, finance update. Mayor Dardis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance Committee met yesterday afternoon. The reports are all positive. Everything's coming in on budget. We continue to have a very robust sales tax collection. Those revenues continue to be very positive. Our net asset position at this time is $135,793,993. If you have any questions, I'd stand for them, but that ends my report.
Any questions for Mayor Dardis? There's no action on this item either. So any questions for Mayor Dardis? Mr. Olson, please.
Well, I was thinking since we are going quite fast here that we'd have plenty of time to go through each page of your financial report and then explain.
Well, I think that's a good idea.
I might need a little help going through each page, Commissioner Olson, but things are going really quite well.
Right.
We've got some great partners and things are coming together.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? If not, Mr. Paulson, anything further to add, sir, on this one?
No, that's all I have, sir.
Perfect. We progressed to item 10, other business. Program information points. Mr. Paulson, we had a handout prior, so.
Yeah, again, this is just for your information. We just want to provide this on a monthly basis, lay out the ongoings and the happenings that we're focused our attention on. So if there's any questions or you want to dig deeper on any of those issues that we've identified or any of those informational points, just please get a hold of me, give me a call, and we can go over anything that you might be interested in. So.
Outstanding. Any questions or comments on this item? If not, pushing to item 11, which is next meeting, July 28th. And Mr. Paulson, we should be good with everything, yes? With that, item 12, please.
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please by saying aye. Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Do we want to stay for Mr. Ebinger? We can talk, Commissioner, and maybe discuss some things? No?
Hey, I'm recording again.
There we go. Thank you, everyone.